Good morning from New Mexico, YouTube. It's Arwen of Tarot by Arwen, reminding you to seek joy and pass it on. And remember, a sincere compliment from you can change somebody's day. So tell somebody you like their eyes. Tell somebody their eyebrows rock. Tell somebody they've got a nice shine on their shoes or their car looks nice. Just pass it on 3 times today. And let's see if we can't spread a little joy wave. You're going to start seeing something in my videos. It'll be a little eye up in the corner. And when you click on it, it'll say, Prosperity Magic Works. Seek joy, y'all. And it's just my way of giving you an opportunity to donate to the channel if you want. I'm not asking you to. It's just a way for me to keep doing these videos and doing what I love. So I know that not everybody can do a reading right now. So if you want to contribute in a different way, that's awesome. Today I want to talk about something that came up in yesterday's video, and that's protection magic. Somebody posted about, or 2 things. One person posted about their nephew being on the streets, kicked out of his house, and she wanted to know about protection for him and things of that nature. And somebody else talked about her child being bullied and ranting and venting about that. And I think that's the right thing to do, and when you're protecting your child, you gotta do those things. My niece, who is now a mom of her own, with my great niece is adorable. Okay, I'll stop. But really, she's really cute. And she was in a situation where she was being bullied. She was being picked on. There were 2 or 3 other girls that were just being shits. And Amanda knew, I said her name. Okay, sorry. But she knew that I was a witch, and she and I are very close. So her mom and I had talked about this, and we went into, they were visiting unexpectedly. Long story, involves a 9-hour trip that we thought was going to be 4 hours. But we went into a store and we found this really cute little mirror necklace. It was just cute as it could be. And we used that mirror and we did a charm on it to reflect back the negativity coming at her, to bounce it back, to scatter it basically, and to get it away from her. She wore that necklace for a long time, I think. Better part of a year, if I'm not mistaken. She may still have it, but it worked very well for her. Now, protective magic of that nature, there are a couple things you're doing with that. You're setting up shields, which is what that mirror was. It was a personal worn shield to protect. You're also setting up the person's mind that they're protected, that this bullying crap doesn't work, it doesn't help, blah, get rid of it. Now, physical bullying and mental bullying are 2 different things. If somebody's punching you, bumping into you, knocking you into lockers, that sort of stuff, this takes a different kind of magic, and part of that magic involves telling somebody in authority until somebody does something, okay? It's a lot like a money spell or a job spell. Just doing a job spell isn't good enough. You've got to get out there and do your work. You've got to hit the pavement and send out resumes and knock on doors. Okay? Same thing with protection magic. Do your work. Now, the young man who's on the streets needed something a little different. He needed something that was going to protect him, in his day-to-day, because he's in a situation that's not good. So I wrote up a spell that I'm going to share with y'all. I'm not going to share all of it with you because parts of it, it'd just be a little involved. But basically what it's doing is making a Gris-Gris bag. Now, I'm not a conjure woman. I'm not a root worker. But I did this from instinct. I did this from what felt right. And if you're a past life person, yes, I've got past lives in magical areas. But what I told his aunt, or aunt, if you're not from Louisiana, is to take 3 squares of cloth, a white, a red, and a black. And in this order, you put the black so it's outside, red so it's next, and white so it's inside. Okay? You got protection, you've got defense, and you've got, again, protection on a different level. So black, red, white for me. And to put those squares like this, and I said 5, I don't do measurements real well, but 5 by 5 or 6 by 6 squares. And in those, a white stone and a black stone from her yard. Put them in with a certain phrase, a certain saying, each one. And then put in these herbs. Cinnamon, black pepper, cayenne or chili powder or pepper flakes, something red peppery, and then salt, sea salt if she had it. All of these things are easily found. This is not an expensive spell to do. This isn't going to cost anybody a lot of money. The squares of cloth would be the biggest things, and if you're a quilter, maybe you can buy one of the, are they called fats? The quilt fat, I don't know what they're called, the little things of quilting squares. I think they're fats. And maybe there's, if there's a red, a white, and a black square in there, and use those. But you can get expensive with spells. You can go crazy. You can get by tonka beans, which are poisonous. Be careful. But this spell was for somebody that I wanted them to have something they could do pretty fast, and something that most of us have. She's can I say where you're from? She's a Louisiana girl like I am. So if she's a Louisiana girl, I know she's got cayenne, pepper, and salt, and more than likely cinnamon sitting in her cabinet. So, and if not, use a Cajun seasoning. Use Tony Chachere's Cajun seasoning. It's got all the spices you need. It's got garlic, red pepper. Don't go crazy on your spell work, guys. You don't need to. But then I told her to put it together in a certain way, sew it up with 3 color threads, black, white, and red. And then at the end, she's going to be, I don't know if I told her the end correctly. Yes, I did. She's going to be tying 9 knots and saying a prayer from her perspective. A prayer to Jesus, to Muhammad, to Buddha, to the Morrigan, to Hecate, to Rhiannon, to Manamir, whoever. This ending part is her energy going into this. And then I want her to give it to her nephew and let him carry that. And you can make a Gris-Gris bag like this. You can make a protection bag like this. I have a tiny, tiny pouch that goes everywhere with me, really. And it's got things that I've made in it and things that are important to me in it that are specific to my tradition. So, and I made the little bag, so it's very dear to me. And think about, and I also have a silly, silly little rhinoceros, a little pewter rhinoceros, whose name is Balthazar. Yes, that Balthazar. And he doesn't anymore, but he used to travel in my car with me. He was my car protector. And speaking of car protections, I have a car protection spell. I'll do a video and give you the steps on that. But save pill bottles, y'all. Don't throw them away. Hang on to them. Aspirin bottles. Take all the labels off and scrub them down good, but save them. My car charm uses a pill bottle as its carrier. So protection work isn't hard to do. Sadly, it's necessary. I'm going to hit on a question that Aussie Queer asked me. He said, malicious magic done towards me. Have I ever had an experience with that, or had somebody do magic for me that I didn't ask for? Yes to both. I've got family members doing magic for me all the time. They pray for me constantly, and I love it. I think prayer is positive energy. I'm not going to tell them don't do that. It is their faith, their religion, and I honor that. Malicious magic, yes. I've had several instances of people doing malicious magic against me. Sometimes it's just verbal malicious magic and running around gossiping and saying bad, mean things about me. And, well, I'm so sad that they were mean to me. That's on them. I don't really care. I don't. What's it doing to me? People that believe it, okay, fine. I don't need them in my life. People that don't believe it, they're in my life. So people that talk about me, go for it, by it, babes. It's all good. And I bless them and release them. I really do wish the best for them, and I wish them the best for them as far away from me as possible. Ha ha. But I've had serious magical work done against me by a coven in Atlanta, Georgia when I lived there. I called out their high priestess. She said that she was an initiate of a specific tradition, Alexandrian Wicca, and named her, we call it puppy papers. I'm not British traditional Wicca, but I'm the branch I'm from is it did come off of an Alexandrian coven, so it's very similar. But, puppy papers are, who's your priestess? Who's her priestess? What's your lineage? And she told us, and I happen to know one of the people, so I wrote to them, and they said no. They had asked their downline, and their downline said never heard of them. And so I just simply posted on a public mailing list what I knew. Bitchy of me. Part of me is like, ha ha ha, still. And part of me is like, well, I didn't have to do it like that. I could have done it a little nicer. But she and her group got together to do work against me. And I know this for a fact because somebody who was in that coven became one of my students and told me this information. But I did feel the working. I had some crap. But it's all good because I figured it out and I was able to do protective working. I didn't do antagonistic. That's very, very rare for me. Very. It's too much of me tying into them. I don't want their energy in my life. But I did do my work. I did my protections. I re-upped my boundary spells. And that's something we need to always think about is, re-up your spells. If you clean your windows, you're going to leave them for the next 7 years and not do anything to them? Yeah. No. You're going to clean them again. Recharge things, guys. Redo things. I have purchased a really cool spell kit. I'll put a link in the drop down from Tie-Dye Bridget. And I'm going to use that in some boundary work here at my own home. But that's my little spiel on protection work. Tomorrow is Samhain, and I'll have a video up on reading for the dead. It's part of the Tarot blog hop that I am part of, and there's 20 of us doing it tomorrow, so I hope you'll hop around and see who else is. It's a blog, not a YouTube thing, so you'll have to go and read. I know YouTubers versus bloggers. Oh, but Sunday is our weekly Taroscope, and I'm not going to do a monthly Taroscope this month, I think. If I do, it'll be a big surprise for everybody. I think that doing the weekly ones is a better way. The monthly one, the overarching one, it just feels better for me to do weekly. I am going to offer a new service where I'm going to do personalized Taroscopes, and by that I'm going to do your moon, your rising, and your sun signs weekly for you. It'll be a subscription service, and I'll probably do it on YouTube, and we'll talk about that. And if you're interested in that, drop me a comment so that I can start gathering up names. Probably won't start it till January 1st. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll kick it off in December. But it'll be personalized for you, and it'll be a video that does your 4 weeks of the month with your 3 signs in mind. So it'll be a more focused thing towards you. I'd like to see how that goes. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you've got some information on protection magic that you'd like to share, let's talk about it. It's a magical world out there, y'all. Seek joy and pass it on. I'm Arwen of Tarot by Arwen. Have a great day.